Hello and welcome to this combat mission Fortress Italy after action report. I'm Josie Wales, and for those of you who don't know, this game is a military strategy game by Battlefront. You can download the demo from their website. This particular version of the game is set during the Second World War, specifically focusing on the invasion of Sicily. There are 3 campaigns that come with the game. There's an American campaign, a German one, and an Italian campaign. And I'm currently playing as the Americans. And this is the second mission of that campaign. And the mission is to take this hill from the Germans. Hill 1209, which is currently being defended by elements of the 15th Panzergrenadier Division, and in order to push them off the hill I have been given command of K Company of the 3rd 39th Infantry Regiment. K Company is a rifle company consisting of 3 rifle platoons, a weapons platoon and support elements, and some reinforcements. It's commanded by Captain Elliott. First platoon is commanded by First Lieutenant Troina. It's got 3 squads in it. Each squad has 12 men. It's a standard rifle platoon. Second platoon is commanded by Second Lieutenant Pender, and third platoon is commanded by Second Lieutenant Zyger. Fourth platoon is a weapons platoon. It's commanded by First Lieutenant McNutt and consists of 2 heavy machine gun teams, medium machine gun teams. We have an attached heavy machine gun section commanded by Sergeant Naranjo, and that does have 2 heavy machine guns and 2 ammo bearers. We have an attached section of 60mm mortars commanded by Sergeant Bernard. We also have 5 support trucks which can be used to resupply troops and also move troops around the battlefield a bit quicker. And lastly we have a forward observer commanded by First Lieutenant Tyler, and he's in a jeep. I also have quite a bit of artillery for this mission. I've got 2 times 155mm batteries, 2 times 105mm batteries, 1 times 81mm mortar platoon, and an off-map 60mm mortar section. I have got reinforcements that come a bit later. It's currently 1500 hours. At 1520 I get a platoon of assault guns, and at 1525 I get another off-map 60mm mortar section. The mission specifically is to take these objectives. I've got 2.5 hours, so I need to have this done by 1730. So the main objective is the top of the hill, Hill 1209. That's worth 300 points. There is a North Ridge objective worth 200 points. A Southern Ridge objective also worth 200 points, a reverse slope objective worth 200 points, and a forward slope objective worth 100 points. So if we just turn around and have a look back down the hill from the German positions, we can see that they have got a very commanding position on this hill. I think this is going to be a very tough advance to get up here and take this hill from the Germans. I do, however, have a lot of artillery and I intend to use it. My initial plan is basically to spread out. My troops are basically clustered in a very condensed area at the bottom of the hill at the moment, and although we are protected from artillery fire by the steepness of the slope, we are still vulnerable to enemy mortar fire. So I'll get the guys spread out as soon as possible, and then we'll look for routes of advance up the hill and make contact with the Germans and try and push them out of those positions. So let's get the battle started. So I start by moving elements of 2nd Platoon straight up the road through the wooded area, and immediately we come under enemy fire. We get a spot on a German position and we do start returning fire.
Look out. Enemy infantry. Take a look at...
It's a German rifleman in foxholes. There is probably a team up here with him, but at the minute this is the only one that I can see. I move elements of 2nd Platoon out to the right and immediately take my first casualty. That fire is coming from another team of Germans in another foxhole position, not too far from the first spotted German. I must admit that I am completely taken by surprise that we have made contact with the enemy in the opening moments of the battle. I was imagining that they would be further up the hill, but they do seem to have the start position well covered. 2nd Platoon get up into a firing position so that they can start exchanging fire with the currently discovered German positions. I move elements of 1st Platoon up the hill on the left hand side using this small ridge line as defilade cover. The idea is that they'll get into position and start putting some flanking fire on the German foxholes. So it looks like we've wounded one German at the moment. His teammate is giving him combat aid, so that's 2 of them out of the firefight at the moment. German infantry squads carry a lot of firepower. The MG34 and MG42 are well known and respected by the Allies at this point. As 1st Platoon start to get up to this ridge to try and put some flanking fire down on the foxhole positions, they come under machine gun fire from as yet unseen positions. One of the privates decides to stand up and have a better look, and he gets blown away. 3rd Platoon puts some smoke down so that they can use that as cover to move further over to the right. 3rd Platoon and Weapons Platoon start coming under enemy mortar fire. And 1st Platoon also puts some smoke down so that they can start safely withdrawing from the ridgeline. The machine gun fire was just proving too heavy for further advancement. Sergeant Vanna's mortar section start putting some mortar fire down on the foxhole positions. And this starts to have the desired effect of pinning and suppressing the Germans. Just do a quick flyover of the currently known enemy positions. So we've got these foxholes about a third of the way up the hill, running all the way up into this lightly wooded area. There is this gully here which looks like it could be a good line of advance. It would give us protection from fire from further up the hill. However, there is a rather extensive foxhole system in the gully, so I would need to take that first before I could progress any further up it. I'll start using my heavy artillery to bombard the forward slope and north ridge objectives. Although I can't see any enemy positions there at the moment, I'm sure the enemy would have entrenched troops in those positions. I tend to play this game on the WeGo system of play, which is the turn-based method of playing the game. You can play it in real time, but I don't do that. We're not expecting any enemy armour on this map. The hill that we took in the previous mission is allowing us to use that as a base of fire to prevent enemy movements of armour and mobile units. And by taking this hill, it allows us to take the high ground around the town of Troina for the final assault on the town itself. So this is the situation after 20 minutes of play. We've got Lieutenant Troina and 1st Platoon on the left, Lieutenant Pender and 2nd Platoon in the centre at the tree line, and Lieutenant Zeiger and 3rd Platoon moving over to the right with 1st Lieutenant Nutt and 4th Platoon. I am due to be getting reinforcements any minute now, and that will be a platoon of assault guns which I can use to support the infantry and put some heavy fire directly onto the enemy positions. So whilst I'm waiting for them to arrive, I'm just hanging back with the infantry and attacking the objective positions with my artillery. My assault guns arrive and I start moving them into positions. The intention is to use one assault gun to support each infantry platoon. Unfortunately, I haven't moved my support trucks out of the way in time and I caused a little bit of a traffic jam. The assault gun platoon is commanded by 1st Lieutenant Burley. There are 4 half-tracks in it. 3 of them are equipped with a 75mm gun, and the command half-track is equipped with a 50 cal machine gun. The assault gun that I assigned to 1st Platoon moves up to the ridge where the infantry were pinned earlier. It comes under the same withering machine gun fire and it falls back. The assault gun that I've assigned to 3rd Platoon gets a spot on the enemy foxholes and starts putting down some fire on those positions. With the foxhole positions on the right hand side now being taken care of, the enemy have either ran away or they've been incapacitated, I can now start focusing on assaulting up the gully. So the basic plan is that I will be assaulting this position here where the German foxholes are, and I will be assaulting up this gully because it's quite well protected from each side. This is the mouth of the gully and I'm going to assault the gully with 2nd Platoon. We're going to move into the gully and move up. 1st Platoon, I'm moving into position here so that they can provide a base of fire, firing into the gully from there. As elements of 2nd Platoon move up into the mouth of the gully, I move the assault gun up with them to give them close range direct fire support. The assault starts off well. However, bringing the assault guns up so close proves to be a double-edged sword. Some of the rounds end up hitting the trees in front of the foxholes and casualties to my own side. As we close on the German position, the fighting intensifies. Grenades are thrown on both sides. We do get up and into the German positions. Some Germans have run away, some we've incapacitated, and some have surrendered. Right at the top of the hill, I get a spot on a deployed MG42, which is pouring fire down onto my unit. After the initial success of taking the foxholes in the gully, I maintain the momentum and bring 2nd Platoon out up the hill to attack the foxhole in the lightly wooded area. Germans holding these initial foxhole positions are now in full flight and running up the hill to safety. Whilst all that is going on in the centre, 3rd Platoon are steadily making their way up the hill on the right hand side, and although they haven't come across any direct resistance, they have been harassed by intermittent mortar fire all the way up. That concludes the first part of this after action report. Stay tuned for part 2.